Hey guys, Coach Pat coming at you from Impact Training and Fitness. Today I've got a great free weight, meaning no cables, no machines, free weight push workout for you. Okay, so hopefully you can implement this into your push workout and get a great chest, tricep, and shoulder workout. Okay, I'm going to start off with, whenever I do my chest movements, I like to start off with any sort of compound pushing movement, so a bench press, a dumbbell bench, something like that. I find if I do my pushing movement at the end of my chest workout, so I do like flies first, then I've already pre-exhausted my pecs and my triceps and my shoulders kick in, and they become the limiting factors, and that's not really what I want. I really want to focus on my pecs as much as possible. I'm going to be using a cambered bar. I love cambered bars for bench because they give you more range of motion, which is always great when you're trying to build muscle or get hypertrophy. And this one has neutral grips, which I also really like. It just seems like it takes a little bit of stress off the shoulders, opens up the joint gaps a little bit, reduces the opportunity for some impingement. So I'm going to do a couple sets of warm-up, and then we're going to get going. And I'm just going to show you one of my sets, but I am doing 3 sets of anywhere between 12 to 15 on each one of these movements today. So here we go. One of the things that you might notice on my warm-up, I'm not really doing a ton of reps. I'm just trying to get my body moving. So I'll work up to, I've got 185 on the cambered bar. This cambered bar I think is about 55 pounds. It's about 10 pounds heavier, so 195. I did 25s for about 10, 135 or 45s for about 5. It's really just warming up the body so I can get into my workout. So here is my cambered bench press. Like I said, I'm going for 12 to 15 reps. Okay, 3 sets of cambered bench press. That was pretty good. My last set I was only able to get 10 reps. My bench is normally pretty good, just kind of feeling tired today. It is what it is, it happens. If I'm trying to gain mass, if I'm trying to gain some size, anything over 8 reps is pretty decent for me. Some movements, smaller body parts, I might go up to 20 reps, but like bench, or I should say chest, back, legs, I like to stay in that 8 to 15 rep range. I feel like I get pretty good hypertrophy there. If I'm working on hypertrophy, I like to hit 3 chest movements each workout, about 2 to 3 sets per movement. That seems to be within my, between my MEV and my MRV, my minimum effective volume and my maximum recoverable volume. But after I do my first pushing movement, I really like to do more fly movements after that because I'm just targeting my chest, right? I'm going to get my triceps and my shoulders today. And I don't necessarily want to pre-exhaust them doing my chest work. And I really want to focus on my chest. So my next movement, I always like putting an incline movement into my chest workout. Get that clavicular or that upper pec muscle. And so I'm going to do an incline barrel press or fly press. So it's kind of like a fly press hybrid. Now this is one movement, more so like maybe regular dumbbell flies, that I really, really like using a pec deck or cable machine for. Just because there comes a point when I'm using dumbbells where the weight becomes less, there's less resistance. And if I'm using a cable machine, there's always the same resistance all the way through the movement. Not to say you can't get a great fly workout using dumbbells. That's just my preference if it's available. So I got 45-pound dumbbells. Obviously, you use whatever you can. Again, I'm going to get 3 sets. I'm going to shoot for 12 to 15 reps. Again, like I said, I'm feeling a little tired, so we'll see where we go. Well, that felt pretty good. 12 reps, I felt that was within kind of that maybe 2 reps in reserve range, which is where I kind of want to be. So I'm going to go ahead and get my other 2 sets here, and after this, we'll move on to our next movement. All right, so 6 sets into my chest workout. I plan on doing 3 sets with my dumbbell flies. I'm feeling pretty good, pretty fatigued, which is good. So with my dumbbell flies, like I said, I would much prefer to do this with a cable machine if it's available. If not, it's absolutely okay. It is what it is. The one thing I will say is on this particular movement, I tend to not go very heavy. On a good day, I can bench 405, and I'm not at all saying that to brag. There's a lot of people out there that bench way more than I do. I'm just saying that to tell you that I'm using 30-pound dumbbells on this, and it's probably going to wipe me out. I like to keep my arms as straight as possible, very little bend in the elbow, kind of get that long lever arm, and put as much emphasis on my pecs as possible. So again, I'm going to do my first set for you guys, and then I'm going to finish up my other 2 sets off camera. Again, my goal is 12 to 15 reps. If I get anywhere between 8 to 10, I'll be happy. I am pretty fatigued. So let's get this going. So as you can see, I only got 10 reps there, which is okay. I'm okay with that. I'm pretty wiped out. So that is the chest part of this push work. Follow along, do it on your own in the gym, at your home. I'm going to do my other 2 sets, and then we'll move on to triceps. All right, I'm all done with chest. Chest is pretty cash. I was able to do 3 sets of flies to 10 reps, but that last set, my last couple reps were rough. Okay, on to my triceps. My first tricep movement here is going to be an overhead dumbbell tricep extension using one arm. I like this movement for a couple reasons. One, you got to work your triceps in a stretched position, which I find definitely helps with hypertrophy. Number 2, I have really bad thoracic extension, and so this kind of forces me to get a back bend when I do this movement, and kind of forces me to stretch my thoracic spine, which I know that's not the point to this movement, but it's just a nice, I guess, kind of side effect for me. So I'm going to do one arm. I'm starting with 25s. See how this probably going to go up a little bit in weight here. That felt pretty good. I got some limited range of motion in my shoulders, working on my shoulder mobility. Obviously, some limited range of motion in my thoracic spine, working on that as well. So it's one of the reasons why I like doing movements like this. It kind of forces me into those stretch positions, those uncomfortable positions where it really makes me realize that I have to work on my mobility. So I'm going to finish up my other 2 sets, and then we'll come back for our next tricep movement. Thanks. All right, so I actually ended up not going up in weight due to a injury on my right arm about 18 years ago now. I still sometimes get a little more fatigued in my right arm. Going up in weight just wasn't an option. And I don't want to do more reps on one side than the other. So one of the things that you can play with is then your rest time. So I took very little rest, basically, the amount of time that I needed to do the other arm plus maybe 10 or 15 seconds, and then went right into my right arm and then right into my left arm. And that felt like that gave me a pretty good pump. And I think that's a pretty good way to, sometimes we're playing with volume. So we're either playing with how many sets we're doing or how many reps we're doing, keeping those reps within that 2 to 3 rep in reserve range. But sometimes, we can't increase the weight as much, or whatever the case may be. We can play with some other things like rest time to get a good pump and get that fatigue. So I'm only doing one other tricep movement. That's a dumbbell skull crusher. And you know, your triceps and your biceps are just not, they're not as big as, you know, your chest and your back or your lats, obviously. And so I find that my MRV, my maximum recoverable volume with my biceps and my triceps, is a lot lower than other muscle parts, you know. So if I do a total of 12 to, I would say 10 to 13 or 14 sets max in a week, that's pretty good for my biceps and my triceps. Where my chest, I'm looking more like 18 to 22 when I'm right in the middle of a mesocycle in terms of sets per week. So, and I normally split that up in a push legs pull. So I split that up over 2 workouts. So, all right, so here's our dumbbell skull crusher. I'm doing both dumbbells at the same time. Again, I'm gonna do the first set for you, and then I'm gonna turn the video off and finish up my next 2 sets. All right, so I got 15 reps there. Right arm started to fatigue a little bit, both arms, but more so my right. So go ahead and stop. Stop there. Probably gonna stay at the same weight, 25 pounds. Try to get about 15 reps for my next 2 sets. So when we come back, we'll go through shoulder workout and then we'll be done. All right, on to shoulders. I'm gonna do 2 shoulder movements. I'm gonna do a lateral raise, and then I'm gonna use the jammers. If you don't know what that is, I'll show you, and I'll give you some alternates that you can do, and then I'm going to do some dumbbell shrugs. So lateral raises, again, I don't go super heavy. I'm going 30s, which is a little heavier, so I'm shooting for about 10 reps. Again, 3 sets. So I'll do the first set on camera, and then I'll finish the other 2 sets before we move on to the next movement, okay? So again, with both my shoulders, deltoids specifically, and my biceps and triceps, I tend to take less rest in between each set. I don't know, it's kind of weird. I feel like I don't need as much rest, and then if I take too much rest, it's almost like I don't feel like it works, and I think it's a very personal thing. I take about a minute max in between each set, and it really, really feels like I get nice and fatigued. So, you know, definitely smaller muscles, and so kind of play with how I work with them a little bit. So anyways, I'm going to finish my next 2 sets, and then we'll move on to the next shoulder movement. Okay, these are the jammer arms. I like using these. My shoulders are pretty banged up, mostly from wrestling, a little bit from weightlifting, but mostly from wrestling, both competing and coaching. And I just feel like the angle, the hand placement here helps get my shoulders a really good workout. Now I will use this with my athletes to build some explosion, have them step into it. We can attach bands, give that extra resistance. Here I've only got 25 pounds on each side. I'm gonna lean really far over, as you'll see, so I can get more kind of front and medial delt, but not super difficult. Now, if you don't have access to this, or you don't want to use this, my suggestion would be replace this with like a dumbbell push press, where you get a slight bend in the knee. I wouldn't even say like a quarter squat, and then drive the dumbbells up. Shoulder press, I'm always a fan of neutral grip. Again, kind of take some pressure off that joint capsule, reduce the opportunity for shoulder impingements. So I'll do the first set like I've been doing, and then turn off the camera and finish my shoulder workout here. All right, 15 reps, not too hard. I probably will go up in weight a little bit, but you know, felt pretty good. So like I said before, if you don't have access to something like this, you can always replace it with some dumbbell push press, neutral grip. I think that works just as well. So I'm going to finish my other two sets, and then we'll get it over to traps. Okay, last movement for the day. Just as a side note, I only did 2 sets of the jammers. Generally speaking, I do my shoulders with every upper body day, so both my push and my pull, I get some shoulder work, especially my side delts, and so I get a good probably 12 to 15 sets of shoulders, and I know some people will break that up, you know, anterior delt, medial delt, post delt. I get a good 12 to 15 sets of shoulders every week, sometimes 18, and that seems to be right around my MRV. I do have to be aware of some of the shoulder injuries that I've had, so if you have similar injuries, just be really careful with that. It's one of the reasons why I don't do as much overhead pressing as I used to. I still do. Normally a seated barbell press, just because it gives me some back stability, and I know you're taking the core away and stuff. I just feel more comfortable in that situation. So anyways, we're going to finish up with dumbbell shrugs. Shrugs, traps, especially upper trap. Again, it's a muscle group that I really feel like can take a pretty good beating multiple times throughout the week. You know, kind of like your calves, kind of like your forearms, kind of like your core. You know, if you're up and moving around, it's one of those muscle groups that, you know, I mean, even if we don't mean to, we keep a lot of tension up there. And so I feel like, and if there's some sports scientists out there that can give me a better explanation, please do so in the comments. But I just feel like traps are one of those areas where you can move a lot of weight, and you can kind of work your traps multiple times throughout the week, more than just 2 or 3 days a week, and not get overly sore and still keep growing. So I'm going to actually do 2 sets on camera, one so you can see what's going on in the back, and so you can secretly stare at my butt. Just joking. And then I'll do one facing the camera so you can see what's going on in the front. So. All right, that set felt pretty good. Got 14 reps. Before I do this next set, facing the camera, one of the things that I've had multiple people tell me and I've put into practice, and I definitely feel a difference, and I even coach athletes on this and anyone that I'm helping get in shape. Kind of an old school thing people used to do when they would shrug, they would roll their shoulders. And what I've been told and what I understand about anatomy and physiology and body movement is it just puts a lot of undue stress on that shoulder capsule, especially like labrum and rotator cuffs, and really not necessary. So when I do shrugs, I just go straight up, straight down. I would caution you in rolling the shoulders. Probably shouldn't roll the shoulders. Just go up and down. You're definitely working those traps, which cause scapular elevation, and you know, just get a nice contraction at the top. So just a word of warning or caution. Okay, so that is my push workout for today. 3 sets of chest, 3 movements for chest, total of 9 sets. 2 movements for triceps, total of 6 sets. 2 movements for my shoulders, total of 5 sets, and then a total of 5 sets of dumbbell shrugs. I'm right in the middle of a 6-week mesocycle. Probably should have made it 4 weeks, but I'm going to stick to it. I get bored really easily. One of the things that I will do is, as much as I can, I try to do push legs pull, push legs pull. So 6 days a week. Sometimes I have to split it up throughout the day. Sometimes I just miss a day. I'm a teacher full time. I have kids. I coach. But one of the things that I will tell you is, as much as possible, stick to the same movements on each day. Directed adaptation, is super, super important. Understanding that, you know, you're getting your muscles used to a certain movement pattern. And the other thing that I've done that's really elevated my workouts is I started using the Renaissance Periodization Hypertrophy app developed by Dr. Mike Israetel. And this is not a paid advertisement at all. They don't even know I exist. But man, what a game changer that app has been. Well worth the $25 or $35 a month that it costs to have. It's super interactive. And the other thing that I will tell you is the RP client response team, suggestions, questions, whatever, super, super responsive. They get back to you. They say within 24 hours. It's always within a couple hours unless it's late at night. So just an amazing app. It's really, really helped me. I've been lifting for almost 30 years, and I don't know that I've had workouts this good in a long, long time using the app. So thank you for the app. Dr. Mike, and the way it's organized and the way it's put together. So I hope this helps. I hope you can work this into your program. So until next time.